Summer Games Fest 2022 has come and gone, and we've had a few hits and misses this year. Overall, I do think this needs to be condensed into a few days, rather than stretched over a few weeks. However, we still had a few announcements to be excited about, and today I'm going to check out 10 of the best games to get excited about from Summer Games Fest 2022. Well, first up is Metal Hellsinger. So originally set to launch in 2021, Metal Hellsinger is a rhythm FPS, and you blast your way through hell to the headbanging vocals of artists from Arch Enemy and also Dark Tranquillity 2. So now the developers, The Outsiders, and publisher Funcom, they've decided to move the release to 2022, and I do think it's coming out in September in order to meet the high expectations for the game, and it has been really good. I've heard loads of hands-on impressions from Summer Games Fest, and everyone is absolutely raving about this game. So first announced in June 2020, Metal Hellsinger immediately caught the imagination of gamers and pundits. So it features an immersive and innovative way of incorporating music in games through the use of layered tracks. So each level has its own song, and every song is divided into multiple layers, and your performance impacts how many layers of the song will be played at a time, starting with the atmospheric background music and ending with the powerful metal anthems. Well, next up we have Cocoon. So this one is a brand new offering from Playdead, the studio behind Limbo and Inside. So it's a top-down puzzle adventure set to come out next year, and Cocoon is a unique take on the puzzle adventure genre, where each world exists within an orb that you carry on your back. Wrap your head around the core mechanic of leaping between worlds and combine, manipulate and rearrange them to solve intricate puzzles. You can interact with alien environments and biomechanical devices left behind by an ancient civilization, and journey through unique and diverse biomes from industrial structures to massive organic caverns, and discover how they're connected to one another. Each orb has an ability that can be unlocked, and thereby tune the orb into a unique tool for you to utilise within other worlds. Well, next up, this is probably my standout game from Summer Games Fest, and this is WrestleQuest. It's an indie wrestling RPG. So in WrestleQuest, players assume the role of a young wrestling hopeful on his quest to become one of the all-time greats, while he powerbombs, slams and suplexes his way to the top. So inspired by the icons like the legendary Macho Man Randy Savage, our hero must immerse himself in the world of professional wrestling. It's not only going to test his athleticism, but his will and also his conscience too. This one also has some licensed wrestlers in it, so we've got the Macho Man Randy Savage, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake Roberts, and also Diamond Dallas Page too. Well, next one is my first big hitter, and this one is Starfield. So the Xbox and Bethesda conference came to a close with an appearance from Todd Howard and a muchly anticipated update on the space RPG Starfield. In an extended reveal, Bethesda showcased chunks of the gameplay, explorable areas, as well as a robust character creation, skill trees, and also crafting systems. Starfield doesn't have a solid launch date just yet, following the delay, but it's expected sometime in 2023. So yes, this one does look like another Bethesda game, but I reckon it's got real promise. So we've got over 1,000 planets to explore and 100 systems, and I reckon if Bethesda get this one right, it's going to be really good. So looking forward to this one, I've definitely added it to my watch list. Well, next up we've got Wo Long Fallen Dynasty. So Team Ninja is currently working on Wo Long Fallen Dynasty, a new action title set to release in early 2023. So Wo Long is a Souls-like set in China's Three Kingdom period. It's a collaboration between Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo, famous for its Dynasty Warriors series. So the game began development following Team Ninja's Nioh, so shares much of its Souls-like DNA. I've got a quote here from Team Ninja, so they say, "Making it a challenging game was something we had decided from the beginning," said producer Yasuda. "With all the legendary heroes of the Three Kingdoms period, it can come across as somewhat campy, but in reality, it was a time of war and devastation. It was a dark period in which people were constantly fighting, which is a great match for the Souls-like genre. Being set in China, Wo Long is more massive in scale compared to our previous game set in Japan, which allowed us to show a more severe and dark world. Well, the same can be said for the difficulty. There's no doubt this will be an extremely challenging and demanding game, but we come up with new ways to approach that difficulty. So in that regard, players can look forward to a type of satisfaction that wasn't present in earlier Team Ninja titles. So following the huge success of Elden Ring, as well as other Souls-like games this year such as Tunic and Sifu, means high difficulty isn't enough for the game to stand out and catch attention. It needs to balance difficulty and fairness, while also bringing unique elements too. Well, really looking forward to Wo Long. Looks really, really good, and obviously they've got a really great team behind that game, so looking forward to that one coming in 2023. Well, next up we've got another big hitter, and also another hit of nostalgia for me. This one is Street Fighter 6. So, announced earlier this year, Capcom showed off their first gameplay for Street Fighter 6, and also loads of people got hands-on at the event which Jeff Keighley put on at the Summer Games Fest. And I think that event was called Days of Play, so it looked really, really good. So this one is slated to arrive sometime in 2023. So simpler controls will let you improve your offense and defense, so with good timing you can unleash attacks with flashy visuals, allowing you to experience the thrill of the fight even more. The engine that powers the drive system is available as soon as the round begins, allowing you to fight to your liking. So if you spend your entire drive gauge, you'll enter a burnout state with a big disadvantage, but it's also going to replenish automatically, making meter management key to the fight. Understanding the system in depth, including when to be conservative and when to gamble, allows for deep and high-level battles. Well, Street Fighter 6 also offers a new control mode to play without the need to remember difficult command inputs, allowing players to enjoy the flow of battle. So players who are delving into the world of Street Fighter for the first time, or those who haven't touched a fighter game in years, can jump right into the fray. Of course, the traditional control types of the series are still available for players who enjoy it. So really, really looking forward to Street Fighter 6, and loads of fighting fans have managed to get their hands on the game, and they say this one is much better than Street Fighter 5. Street Fighter 5 didn't get off to a very good start at all, but it looks like Street Fighter 6 is shaping up to be much better, so I'm really, really excited for this one. Well, next up we got Witchfire. So originally announced in 2017, Witchfire received a new trailer and a release window. So the dark fantasy first-person shooter is developed by the Astronauts, the Polish indie behind the Vanishing of Ethan Carter, and it's going to be available in early access exclusively on the Epic Games Store coming this winter. Look, really, really good, that one. Kind of a mixture between Destiny and other kind of first-person shooters. There's a moment in Witchfire when he shoots out flames from his left hand. Really, really reminded me of a Warlock from Destiny 2. So given my history with the Destiny series, I reckon Witchfire is going to be really, really good. Well, next up we got Cassette Beasts. So although this one was announced a while ago, this one got a demo during Steam's Next Fest. So collect awesome monster forms during a turn-based battle in this indie open-world RPG, so you can combine any two monster forms using Cassette Beast Fusion system to create unique and powerful new ones. So this one is based in the New Wirral, a remote island inhabited by creatures you've only dreamed of, nightmares you hopefully haven't, and a cast of brave folks who use cassette tapes to transform for battle. To find a way home, you need to explore every inch of the island, record monsters to tape, and gain their abilities. Well, next up we got Final Fantasy XVI. So Square Enix showed off fresh footage from their next mainline entry of its flagship Final Fantasy series, and that one has been given a launch window of summer 2023. Definitely recommend you checking out the trailer for this one. Looks really, really good, plus the gameplay looks good too. Looks like it's going to be much more action orientated, so an iteration on the Final Fantasy VII Remake. So it looks really, really good. And also, talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake, the second part has been announced, and that one is scheduled for winter 2023. Well, finally then today we've got the Plucky Squire. So storybook characters discover a three-dimensional world outside the pages of their book, and must jump between the 2D and 3D realms to save their friends in this charming action-adventure. So the Plucky Squire is set to launch in 2023. It tells the tale of a storybook character that come to life outside their own pages, and this one is made by All Possible Futures. The Plucky Squire really, really got people talking at Summer Games Fest. It was one of the best showing games, and that is adding to a very long list of very good games coming out in 2023. Well, that is it for my roundup of 10 of the best games that you should look forward to from Summer Games Fest in 2022. And as always, thank you so much for watching or listening. Hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to This Week in Video Games. Or you can check me out on Twitter at TWIVG Podcast. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, liking and sharing the video would really help me out. Otherwise, check out the other videos on the channel. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.